So I really just wanted to send out a huge thank you. I've been recovering from shingles, which is really an awful thing. I've had it on my face. It's just chicken pox. If you've had it when you were a kid, it never goes away. Actually, the virus stays in your spine and it comes back if you're stressed or your immune system goes down. I had all of those happen to me, and so I've just been dealing with that. I had the flu for a while, and I think that brought my immune system down. So I was on some medications and I kind of wasn't on anything. And then I was on several medications pretty recently. And so I'm slowly getting off of some stuff, which is good. But around the time when I really did some updates to this, and I don't know what happened, just all of a sudden, a lot of people were looking at my website and it was so, so nice and so positive. So I went ahead and bought the domain. And I thought that they would forward my subdomain, which was this address right here. And they didn't. They only did it for an hour. So then I had like thousands of people looking at it, and now it's like, no, not happening anymore. But that's okay. I had a lot of people from all over the world emailing me just 1 week, and a lot of positive things. It was kind of overwhelming. So that's just kind of what I'm going through, some physical things, but I'll be okay because it really just, me personally, it's been therapeutic to study this. So like just the other day, someone was kind of saying, well, I don't know. They're kind of starting to, some people are critical and want to run their own tests, and that they just didn't explain or show me anything, but they just kind of said that they thought the distance from here to here didn't match, or from here to here didn't match. And so this is my iPad just memorizes every brushstroke that I make. So this is me trying to be as transparent as possible. And it's just fun to do this. I'm like, did it really match that well? Like it's unbelievable to me that all these wrinkles match up on this guy's face to Joseph Smith's death mask. But I'll kind of explain some things here. So the death mask I'm using is the Dibble death mask. And what I found was a really good straight on shot, because this man, I've also done photography. I love drawing faces ever since I was like little. I just would get, look in a magazine, just draw a face, and I love details. I'm not afraid to draw a face or paint a face. There are people way better than me, but I've had some people I've really respected. They're much better artists than me that see what I see, because you don't even have to do the superimposing of the death mask or this outline. The outline's what's convinced me. Other people love the superimposing the death mask, especially when you put it to music. It's cool. And you really just see his face come to life. But I didn't know how to do that at first. I just did the outline, and so I did this again because I'm like, does it? I'm like, and what I had up there, I wasn't super satisfied with, because sometimes I'll kind of like draw, but I'm like, I don't really know if, kind of pick and choose what, but even this cheekbone. So with the high resolution, I can really see so many details. So it's so fun to do this. So I updated this on my facial analysis page. And so you can just click either the numbers now, and I hide the death mask and bring it back. And so I'm going to kind of change the settings on this so it goes faster. So if it has a faster, it has a little bit of a delay on there, but then you can just really zoom in and see, like, no, like the creases, that matches. This is the upper lip. Like, it really is incredible. And so, like I've probably said before, this has really inspired me to want to know what Joseph Smith went through, as I'm seeing scars on this guy's face, and I'm looking for them and finding them on the death mask, researching his history. And I've ended up reading Lucy Mack Smith's book like 3 times and reading his journals on the Joseph Smith papers. I have a very deep love for the prophet Joseph Smith, irregardless if I can prove that this is him. I mean, I do think if I could, it might be a good thing, because then it could just show from his face, you can tell he's a good guy. That there's just a kindness and love and almost childlikeness to him. So yeah, but at the bottom page, I went ahead and, I mean, this isn't like the coolest video, excuse me, ever, but this is just me being transparent. And so if you want to see my process, you can see me drawing. And since when I did learn how to superimpose, I did some really badly done videos, but I've left them on there where it was so pixelated, just even the outline. I don't know. The app was interesting. So if you had a really low resolution picture, even the outline would come out kind of messed up, but it's still, the first time I did it, I just outlined a few things and dragged and dropped it. I was shocked, and then when I bought it and I could see more of these wrinkles and I outlined it and put it on here, like, and now I could tell you that, it's like right there. It just really, I can just see it now. But yeah, I just want to talk a little bit more about the death masks themselves. So if you're taking like this death mask, the photography skills and the quality of the camera makes quite a difference. They look totally different. Okay, and so a lot of this has to do with how close the camera is, the quality of the camera, and the fact that this is the Dibble death mask. It's the oldest death mask, but this one is the lips look totally different. Like and they've even proven and said, like, as more molds were made, it kind of got damaged. So the cast itself kind of got damaged. But I think the biggest thing is, one, it's different than this, but just the shape of that is so, so different. But this was a really good straight on shot. And so the camera is not too high or above. Like, this is straight on, but this is way too close. If you're comparing with this death mask, it's very obvious. You don't have to be a photographer. And I've done photography, I've done portrait drawings and things. It's way high above. And so his nose looks a little more down. So like if you're comparing this to the Scannell kid, oh, it'd work because he has a little bit longer nose. Like Joseph's nose, the tip of his nose was a little more, he had a Roman nose, but the tip of it kind of came up a little bit. Like it just is a very different angle. So kind of like here's the Scannell kid's photograph. And then this is actually, the camera angle wasn't very straight on with this death mask. It's a little bit higher above, not much, but just enough that it kind of, when you come from above, then you don't really see the nostrils and it looks like the nose is a little bit more downturned. So the angle of the camera is different, and not all the death masks are the same. I think professionals have said that the Dibble is the best one. So that's really what I agree with. So that's just where I'm at. So if you want to see this, you can actually see the point where it takes a little bit longer. So it's 3-4 minutes there, but you can see I just drag and drop it. So since I learned how to superimpose the death mask, I was able to get the proportions. So the only thing I manipulate with the death mask is just the size, and that's it. And I've done this so many times that, I know what to look for. I know that hooded eyelid, and the edge of the nose, like I can see that on there. Even the shape of the lips is just perfect. So this is what I find fascinating, not everyone else, but that's just how it is. So again, just remember my website changed. If you want to see anything, I'll put some updates on there. And I don't know if I'll ever do like that FBI test. I don't think it really helped the many people from Utah that really were and are still very passionate about the Scannell daguerreotype and very defensive of it. It's really been an interesting thing to learn about all this, because I just found out about all of it within the last year and a half. Whereas it's been a lot of drama going on for over 10 years. But yeah, it's interesting. But yeah, that's just kind of felt like explaining my process of analyzing it. And just, I just redid the outline of the face again, and it's like pinching myself again. I'm like, did it really match up that well? Because some people might use a different death mask and think, oh, well, it's off a little bit. But I'm like, definitely if you're using one of these, especially at bad angles, There is a room for error with photography. There just is. But if you know what you're doing, and if you've done photography and you know faces, because in the 1800s, they kept the camera stationary, that the lens, they didn't tilt it up or down. I mean, maybe later in the 1800s, but you know, when you watch the science of it, like it's a stationary camera. And so everyone taking these pictures of the death mask here are stationary. The person that did this, the focal point is really dead center. It's very even. It's not too close. And it was just a really good quality photograph of the death mask, this specific one. And so some people don't have an eye for those things and might not pick up on it. And I've seen people trying to prove their photograph in their image is a straight on shot, kind of like this too. It has the camera angles, you know, it's not up or down, if that makes sense. But then how would this work, you know? I don't know. You kind of have to pick up on stuff like that. But that's just how it goes, and I'm just hoping to run tests on the paper itself, which just scares me a lot. I just want to know that I trust people, and but yeah, there's a lot of things I want to test, like just proving that it is an old photo. I really do want to get that done, and I do want to verify a few other things that are more physical tests on something. So yeah, but it's been fun for me again. I apologize. I've done my best to respond to everyone of emails so far. I mean, it hasn't been that many emails, thank goodness, but still a lot more than I was getting like a month ago. And I've been on and off a lot of different meds, and slowly I'm tapering off of each of them and getting better, getting over shingles, and just getting energy back after getting one major illness and then another one. And I've been through a lot physically the last 3 years. So, and I was just going through a lot of physical pain a month and a half ago, and still have a little bit. It's a very painful thing to go through, especially when it's on your face. So, but I just worked a lot on my website, and so I felt so blessed. A lot of people suddenly found it, but I'd been working on it. But it was a therapeutic thing for me, and it was a good distraction away from physical pain and just awful sensations that you get with this acute illness. If you've ever had chickenpox, it's in you. It's not contagious unless you've never had it. So a lot of people are freak out over this. It's been very comical and interesting going through this, because I've had a lot of surgeries and I've been through things, but then they don't look at you like a leper, like with this. But I'm totally, like, my skin is fine for the most part now, and yeah, it's been fun. So I just try to update things on here. And yeah, but I think the biggest compliment to me is people that get what I'm getting, is just that love for him, and seeing a face of someone that went through a lot. You can tell he did, but he still has a lot of love and isn't bitter, and didn't let it bring him down. Having lost friends and things, I think he was a good guy. I still know and believe that he is a good, kind, very, very selfless person. So anyway, enjoy this and have a good day, and thanks.